Hello and welcome to the most expensive used car in Gran Turismo 7. This is the Lamborghini Diablo GT. Now this car can fetch around 817,000 credits. So the main goal of today's video is to just find out how good is the Lamborghini Diablo. So with the price tag of being almost a million credits, is this car actually worth the money? Now when you first jump into the Lamborghini, you are greeted with the sound of its glorious V12 engine. This is still when V12s were king of king, and almost any manufacturer that was making a supercar was producing a V12, and Lamborghini was absolutely iconic for it. And one of the most iconic V12 Lamborghinis has to be the Lamborghini Diablo. Now the normal Diablo is fun and good, but this is no standard Diablo. This is the Diablo GT. Now as you can see from me going off circuit, there is a hint of understeer from this vehicle. Okay, I shouldn't say a hint because there's a flooding amount of understeer. It's actually surprising to me how much understeer this vehicle actually produces. Then there's also oversteer, and somehow you aren't able to correct it. It's a bit of a tricky vehicle to actually control when you first get behind the wheel of it, because it brakes a lot worse than you think it should. The acceleration isn't really there. I mean, the car has over 500 horsepower standard. It doesn't really feel that fast. Now okay, you do get the hang of it after using the car for a couple of minutes. You understand, okay, you need to brake now, you need to take turns like this. Okay, you aren't able to push the car this far because yes, with it having over 500 horsepower, you put your foot on the accelerator, the rear wheels are gonna light up. But it isn't anything that you have to be like, oh my gosh, I need to fight for my life, because the Diablo it's quite manageable. Now going back to what makes the GT actually special compared to a normal Diablo. Now the GT saw new and refreshed bodywork, because the GT was a track focused version of the Lamborghini Diablo. Now when it came to performance, the engine didn't really see much of a change. However, the cars did see the engine displacement change from a 5.7 litre V12 to a 6 litre V12. Yes, the engine got soaked up to just give it a little bit of extra power. But the massive thing that was different between this and the standard Diablo was the fact that the standard Diablo was all-wheel drive and this is rear-wheel drive. This was actually done to reduce the weight of the GT, just enhancing its focus on being a track vehicle. Now what's actually crazy to me is that there was only 80 of these Lamborghini Diablo GTs that were ever put into production. 80. There are cars with way higher production numbers in the legendary dealership compared to this Lamborghini. I mean, it has high power, it has a very limited production run, it has a big following because the car has been there. The car is a strong, solid foundation, and whenever you talk about the history of Lamborghini, the Diablo is always mentioned. Now to hopefully fix some of the issues that I have with the Lamborghini Diablo GT, we're gonna head on over to the tuning shop and just improve this car's performance overall by just reducing the weight even more and adding a lot more power. So standard, the vehicle has 571 brake horsepower. Now after applying every upgrade we can to the vehicle, we see that figure go up to 791 brake horsepower. Yes, we are just shy of 800 brake horsepower, and not only do we upgrade the power, but we also reduce the weight by roughly 300 kgs, making this a very fast and a very lightweight vehicle. Now to just help combat the understeer issue, we are gonna add some added aero to just help us get the car extra downforce and help it get around the corners just a whole lot smoother. Now fun fact about this vehicle, since we're in GT Auto, this car only comes in one color. This car only spawns in the legendary dealership with this yellow that is on screen right now. I know there's an official name for this paint color, but it's a yellow Lamborghini. So now we're just going to change the yellow paint to orange. And once we finish customize the vehicle, it's time to take it out back onto circuit and see, is the car now able to compete with its modern day equivalent. Now once we get behind the wheel of the Lamborghini again, we begin to feel something quite strange, and that's the fact that the car doesn't actually feel fast. However, if you look at your speedo, you are traveling at almost 300 kilometers per hour. When you slam on the brakes are a lot better, but somehow still struggling to get rid of that pesky understeer. However, it is a lot better than standard. Now you are able to take corners a lot faster, which means you are going to be able to set a lot faster of a lap time. Since we are talking about lap times, the standard Lamborghini took the circuit around a 1 minute 50 mark. However, now with the car being fully upgraded, the fastest lap I was able to set was a 1 minute 32 second run. So that's almost 20 seconds faster. I mean, you did spend over 200,000 to upgrade this vehicle, so I would hope that it would be a lot faster. So that's about what, 100,000 for 10 seconds, which is actually quite a lot of value for money. Now, how does the car feel? Since it has racing soft tires on, the car doesn't really step out as much as it should. The car is quite grippy, and I feel like it's just at the right power level that there is still a bit of slip, so you can have a bit of fun, but the car is still very controllable and easy to drive. You aren't fighting against the vehicle to keep it in line. Now, since the car is fully upgraded and it reaches a performance point level of 760 if I'm not mistaken, we can detune it and the car will be able to compete in the WTC 700, which means it will be a vehicle that can be used for money grinding. However, I wouldn't recommend it. This car is extremely thirsty when it comes to fuel economy. By doing this events around Le Mans, at the end of every second lap you are gonna have to go into refuel, and this is with the car being on fuel map level 6. So no, fuel efficiency is not the strong suit of the Lamborghini Diablo GT. However, even with the car being on fuel map level 6, it is easily able to travel over 300 kilometers per hour, which is actually quite insane. So the Lamborghini Diablo, for a vehicle that is in the used car dealership, I don't really see why it should be there. I picture this being in the legendary dealership. I have no idea why it's actually in the used car dealership. Actually, it throws me off as to what the reasoning is behind it. But if there's one car that should be in the legendary dealership, it has to be the Lamborghini Diablo. And the fact that it isn't is really surprising. But because it's not in the legendary dealership, it is available for purchase a lot sooner and at a cheaper price. I mean, 817,000 is still quite a lot, but hey, it is a lot cheaper compared to some of the vehicles in the legendary dealership. Now, if you did go on to enjoy this video, don't forget leave a like and subscribe for more Gran content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.